Thanks very much, Lynn. I want to see Drax out. Drax is one of the most right-wing Conservative MPs in Parliament. And he and his counterparts on that wing of far-right conservatism, not only in the UK, but across Europe, are fomenting racism as part of an attempt to deflect the anger and rage at the consequences inflicted on populations by these governments. He's whipped up Islamophobia and pursued private members' bills to ban Muslim women wearing the dress of their choice. This is all, no doubt, to be expected of an aristocratic landlord of vast tracts of land, sitting on the wealth of slavery and the misery inflicted across generations by his ancestors. Ousting Drax would be a marker against racism and the far right, and every anti-racist will cheer across Dorset. However, it would also be a marker for the Palestine solidarity movement in Dorset. Drax has supported Israel's genocide in Gaza. He has resolutely opposed any calls for a ceasefire. He was one of those who supported Suella Braverman, do you remember this? When she whipped up demonisation against protests for peace and against genocide, and claimed that the marchers were a threat to the armistice celebrations, and she called for a ban for the march. He supported Suella Braverman then. What was the consequence? The consequence was a far-right fascist riot at the cenotaph itself. So much respect for those who died in the Second World War fighting fascism. But not only that, he has argued that there is a two-tiered policing in this country. One policing against the far right and the fascists, who, according to him, are borne down upon by the police, and one for those protesting for Palestine and against racism. That argument was the foundation of Tommy Robinson, the Nazi Tommy Robinson's last march the other weekend that mustered 5,000 in central London. People like Drax are feeding the street thugs and the far right. But let me say this, because Palestine is the litmus test for every politician, for every movement, for every party. It's a turning point in politics, and it's never going to be the same. I know there will be many Labour voters in Dorset who've been on the marches locally and nationally, and there will be Labour members who've done the same. But I have to say this. When Keir Starmer said that Israel had the right to cut off water, to cut off food, to cut off aid supplies, he was rubber stamping genocide. And when David Lammy in November said that Israel had the right to attack refugee camps, then in my view, the blood of those victims of Nusrat camp, the decapitated infant victims, their blood also lies on David Lammy's hands. And I want to really make clear what I believe the position should be of the pro-Palestine movement, of everyone fighting for justice and for freedom and against apartheid and against genocide.